So instead of having to buy 1, 2, 3, 4 different products like a lot of companies make people do, we're trying to give you all that stuff just in one pre-workout. You're not going to see this in any of the other supplements that you see on the market. You're not going to walk into GNC or Vitamin Shop and see this in any pre-workout on the shelf. What's going on, guys? It's Jordan Nevels back again. Now we're here with our third installment of the Hope Dealer pre-workout series. Now our very first video we shot back in May. If you haven't checked that out yet, go ahead and click on the link and check that out. That detailed our very first trip to the lab. So there you saw everything that we did as far as developing the flavors, tasting them, and making the adjustments in the flavor. The second trip, which we shot in June, if you hadn't had a chance, check that out. You saw where we ran into some issues. There's where we had some trouble with the fallout in the product. Remember, while we were trying to jam pack all these ingredients just into one formula, so we ran into a lot of issues with the solubility. If you paid close attention, you saw that the cups almost had 2 inches of sludge at the bottom. That means the ingredients weren't properly mixing, they weren't soluble, and we had that issue, okay? Now today, we're fast forwarding, and we're 6 months to the present day. So it's been 6 months since that last episode that you saw that we were in the lab, and now I want to show you where we're at today with the product. So you'll see these 2 tubs here, and boom, these are fresh off the manufacturing line. So this is Hope Dealer pre-workout here, okay? So I got 2 flavors. These are just the sample jugs, but I'm not gonna tell you what flavors they are yet, but I wanna answer that one question I've been getting from a lot of people, and that is, did you fix the issue with the solubility? So let's go ahead and try it. So I got some water here in a cup. I'll go ahead and get out a scoop here. You'll see I'm down to the very bottom. I've been wearing this bad boy out. I've been in the gym trying it out, letting people take samples and so forth. So we got a full scoop, and the first thing you're gonna notice is the size of the scoop. So this is only almost a 30-gram scoop, which is massive when it comes to pre-workout scoops, okay? Your traditional scoop is gonna be anywhere from 10 to 15 grams. We got 30-gram scoop just about, so that goes to show you that we truly are trying to pack as many high-quality ingredients into one serving as possible to get to you guys, all right? But none of that matters if it doesn't mix good. So let's see what we got. All right, let's shake it up. Give it a few shakes. Now after we shook it up and you let it sit, within 5 to 10 seconds, you were getting an accumulation of a bunch of sludge at the bottom of it. You can just see, even though the bottle was darker tint, you can see that there's no fallout, there's no accumulation of ingredients anywhere in it. So let's see what it looks like when we pour it out so you can get a better look at it, all right? So we got a glass here, so we'll pour it in. We'll let it sit, and bam, there it is. So you'll see the fallout issue is all but fixed, all right? So it blends up perfectly, tastes amazing. I ain't gonna drink it right now, but tastes amazing. You can go ahead and give a guess what flavor you think that one is. So I'll be releasing 4 to 5 flavors at you guys. Coming right here in the first quarter of January, right? So anyways, we got that issue taken care of, so I hope you guys can really enjoy the product, but we didn't compromise on the ingredients. We still gave you everything that I wanted in the original formula, but the team did a great job to be able to utilize their gifts to be able to give you guys exactly what I wanted, which is a full high-powered product that is very soluble, that tastes amazing, that you can keep coming back to and looking forward to drink time after time after time. Now, without further ado, let's jump into what makes this product unique, and that's the ingredient profile, all right? So if you look at the nutritional panel, you're gonna see something that you don't typically see on pre-workouts, and that is 3 to 4 different products combined in one. Not only are we giving you a product that's gonna give you good, clean energy, we're giving you a product that's gonna give you a massive pump. So we're combining not only just a pump product with a pre-workout, but we're also giving you that nootropic effect. So instead of having to buy 1, 2, 3, 4 different products like a lot of companies make people do, we're trying to give you all that stuff just in one pre-workout. If you look, this has been sitting here for a good 5, 6, 7 minutes already, and it still looks great. There's no fallout like we had that issue before, so you can see that that's completely fixed. So anyways, jumping back into the profile. Not only are you gonna get that pump factor, you're gonna get into the focus factor. That's the main thing. So people wanna be focused, you wanna be dialed in, but you don't want that crazy stimulating effect. So you can get that from a lot of ingredients on the market, like DMHA, DMAA, different things like that are gonna give you an insane focus, but it's also gonna give you an insane crash, and it's gonna do bad things to your health eventually in the long run. So for me personally, I don't think DMAA or DMHA, while they give you great results, are going to be safe on the body, safe on the heart, safe on the overall health of your body. So I wanted to give you a focus factor combined of different ingredients that's really going to give you not only just a clean focus, but something that's also healthy and gives you benefits as well. So we'll dive into that. Then the last part, we're coming back in with that endurance factor. So the endurance is just going to be off the charts, amazing. When I take it and everybody else is taking it, you just notice that your endurance is just crazy. You can just get less rest time between sets. You're just able to go. You're able to crank out a few more reps, and you're doing it, but you just feel good and your body feels clean and healthy. And to piggyback off of that endurance factor, I got a special guest today for you guys, and that is Luis from New Live Science. So one of the special ingredients that I have included in this formula is called ActiGin. It's a patented ingredient, and Luis is gonna run it down for you, tell all the clinical data that we have. I didn't wanna just put ingredients in there that everybody uses. I want some special ingredients, but I want them to have clinical human research behind them, and ActiGin is one of those. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump over in the booth. I got Luis on the line, straight from California, and he's gonna tell you everything that you wanna know about the ingredient ActiGin.
Can you just kind of give them some information on exactly what is ActiGin to begin with?
Yeah, sure, Jordan. So ActiGin is our ingredient for endurance, energy, recovery, and longevity. ActiGin is our all-natural, non-stimulant performance enhancement ingredient. We've done both animal and human testing, and it's shown to improve endurance, recovery, and overall fitness level of the person who is taking the actual ingredient itself.
Awesome. And that's one of the reasons I chose this product, just for not only the data you guys got, but just the natural factor, man. So natural bodybuilding, being a natural athlete, and just giving people healthy options that can increase their performance at the same time. So with this ActiGin, what is, well, I know, but I'll let you tell them, what is the actual ActiGin derived from?
Yeah, so ActiGin is derived from two highly purified and oxygenated extracts from two medicinal Chinese herbs that have been used for, I'd probably say, at least 1,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
Two herbs are Panax nodosus and Rosa roxburghi. Rosa roxburghi is a tropical fruit native to the Taiwan area. So what we do is we take both the Panax nodosus and the Rosa roxburghi,
mm-hmm.
and we take compounds from each one of those plants to come up with our active through a pharmaceutical extraction process.
Right, and it's phenomenal, man. I love it. I remember when I first spoke with you about getting the ingredient in, and you sent me the samples of it, and I tried it, and I was like mind blown. I'm like, man, the endurance factor is just off the chain, man, as far as that goes. So, and that's what I want to lead in. Yeah, I want to lead into that next, is kind of talking about the effects of ActiGin. Is like, what do you notice most from that, especially from an endurance standpoint, a recovery standpoint, and kind of inflammation standpoint?
The biggest benefit, number one, is definitely the increased energy level and increased stamina.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since I've added into ActiGin into any of the supplements I take, or just by itself, there's an immediate difference in both your focus, your intensity in the gym. The easiest way I can kind of think about ActiGin, you're constantly working at 100% capacity. As if you take a pre-workout without ActiGin, there's always a drop off.
Right.
For 30 to 40 of the workout, you start to get tired. The reps start to go down. The weight has to go down.
Right.
With ActiGin, even at the clinical dosage of 50 milligrams, there's really no drop off. You're constantly, staying at that peak performance level.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and that's what I noticed, man. My recovery between sets was just crazy. I didn't need to rest as long, and I was just ready to go again. And I'm like, but the good thing about it is, there was really no stimulant effect to it. It was just, the way that the product worked. So let's dive in real quick, just to some of the clinical research that you guys got. So what did you guys find clinically about the ActiGin?
So we've done a total of 4 clinical studies on ActiGin that have been published in the top 50 scientific journals all across the country. The first study consisted of 3 separate clinical that were published in a PLOSOne, or Public Library of Science 1, if you guys want to look it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's a top scientific journal in the country. And that study studied specifically ActiGin's effect on the VO2 max, or energy stamina output that ActiGin can increase.
Right.
It studied the recovery aspects of ActiGin, and it looked into the glycogen storage benefits that ActiGin has.
Like I said, man, I think one of the biggest things that people are going to notice when they take this product is that endurance factor, and that you don't need so much time between recovery and you feel like you're almost back at 100% almost right away. For me personally, I noticed within 15 to 30 seconds, like I was ready to go right back into that set without a strength drop off. So that was super impressive to me, and wanted me to include that into the product. So now I know we talked, off camera about this, but I want to dive in a little bit more to not only just the performance benefits of it, but the anti-aging benefits. So I know anti-aging is a huge category and subject for a lot of people. So I wanted you to just kind of enlighten them on some of the newer anti-aging benefits that you guys found goes along with ActiGin.
Absolutely. So we just completed the 4th human clinical a little over 6 months ago. And the study was around ActiGin's ability to clear senescent cells. So if you're not familiar with senescent cells, those are essentially cells that no longer divide in your body. Your body, like all of your muscle tissues, they all have a certain cells inside, say the muscle tissue. So senescent cells are cells that everybody has throughout their body, and eventually those cells stop dividing, or essentially they're not contributing to fit of the muscle tissue itself.
Right.
And one of the problems with senescent cells is they have, I would say, a negative system where they cause a lot of inflammation to not only the body itself, but the neighboring cells around them. Mm-hmm. So, an easy way to kind of think of it is if you have senescent cells in muscle tissue, it's kind of like a batch of bananas.
Right.
If one banana starts to go brown, the rest are going to get affected by one bad banana. So essentially, the more senescent cells your body has, the less optimal that muscle tissue or whatever the tissue itself is going to be. It's not going to function as optimally as it can.
Right.
So in the latest study that I did, it was a double-blind, placebo-controlled study, and we studied, I believe it was 24 participants, and the 12 participants that were taking the app, we cleared out over 90% of the senescent cells in the actual muscle tissue.
Which is major. I mean, that's groundbreaking.
It's a really big find for us. Mm-hmm. And not only did ActiGin remove the senescent cells, it actually increased the level of the satellite cells, so that, we're clearing out the bad, dead zombie cells, essentially, and we're bringing in new cells so that muscle tissue itself can function optimally, like nothing is happening, even though you're going through this intensive workout.
Right.
So
is it safe to say that it's almost like recovery is happening definitely at a sped up rate, and it's almost taking place almost immediately? Was that safe to say that pretty much, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So, as you're going through these intensive workouts, your muscles are going through, all this oxidative stress and whatnot. But ActiGin has found a way, and essentially what ActiGin does is it has an ability to preserve the insulin receptors or glucose transporters, which are very important. They're on the muscle membrane themselves. So as you're working out and you're getting a good pump in, your muscles start to contract and get tight.
Right.
And you can't lift as much as you normally would. When you take ActiGin, it protects the muscle membrane, so your muscle is still bringing in more blood and more glucose, so you're able to push through that workout a lot longer at that high level, as to where if you weren't taking ActiGin, you wouldn't have those type of benefits.
Right. Amazing, which in turn just translates to higher performance throughout your entire workout. So, I mean, I think that's a huge thing as well, is the anti-aging that you tapped on. And you said that a lot of people are starting to reach out to you about your company about the anti-aging effects of it and so forth, and having you guys travel across the world and speak about the anti-aging and so forth of ActiGin, correct?
Yeah, we've actually just in the United Kingdom at a trade show for one of our distributors. And, you're really familiar with our ingredient portfolio, and most of the people that we deal with know the science for ActiGin. But, being in different countries where we were in Spain, UK, France, when we brought up the ActiGin, and especially the latest study with the senescent cell clearance, they didn't want to talk about anything else besides ActiGin.
Right.
Because there's so many benefits to utilizing ActiGin, whether it be for a pre-workout, for an energy product, or for like an anti-aging product. That was always going to be their main focus. It has a lot of marketability to it,
right,
and it's a very good product. And especially when you're looking into nutraceutical ingredients, it's very hard to find an ingredient that has, 3 clinical studies that's also, globally utilized.
Exactly.
So it's been our big and most popular ingredient the last 6 months since that publication. And, we're putting a lot of marketing dollars and marketing just going forward into 2020 surrounding ActiGin, and really how we can grow the awareness and popularity of the ingredient.
Right. And that's the main thing, is just getting the awareness. So I think it's safe to say we're almost kind of ahead of the curve on this ingredient. I feel like obviously some companies have it in their products already, but I feel like it's not globally used like a beta alanine and so forth like that, just because it's not known as much. So I feel like we're kind of ahead of the curve, and especially in the dosages that we're going to be using in Hope Dealer product that will lead into next. I think we're ahead of the curve on this, and I think by somebody just buying this pre-workout just for the pre-workout effects, and then them getting all the benefits that come with ActiGin, it just really blows everything else away that's on the market, so forth. So now leading into the next part of it, which is the dosages. So the clinical dosages you mentioned are run at 50 milligrams. So I just wanted you to kind of tap on that real quick and, tell us what are the typical dosages that you see on the market with ActiGin, and just kind of lead into that as far as the most pre-workouts and stuff go.
Sure. So in the one in vivo study that we did, and the 4 human that we've done, clinical doses for every single study was 50 milligrams of ActiGin for the study. When it comes to our clients, what they're putting into their product, I would say 95% of our clients are putting 50 milligrams. The clinical dosage. We do have a few customers who put a little bit more, a little bit less, following our requirements. But I would say overall, their presence, they're utilizing the clinical dosage since it is so small, the 50 milligrams.
Right. We
do not have too many clients yet that are adding more than, I would say, 100 milligrams.
Got it.
And that's due to various factors. But our belief, especially in ActiGin, it's one of those ingredients that if you do increase the actual amount of milligrams that you put, there is more benefit and more bang for your buck that way. It just depends on, what you're looking for in terms of marketing and how you want to spend your formulation dollars.
Right. So bring me to the last point, which rounds it all home and brings it back to home base, which is Hope Dealer. So that's the product that obviously we've been working on together with the pre-workout. So now I'm going to tell the people now what doses we're using in the Hope Dealer, because they haven't seen the formula yet. So we're going to give them 200 milligrams of this ingredient just in Hope Dealer. So 200 milligrams per serving of ActiGin is what we're putting in there. So what do you think about that ingredient as far as that high of a dosage at 200 milligrams? Is that above the marketplace? What do you think about the effects it would have and just the value that they would get per serving getting 200 milligrams?
I mean, personally, at the 200 milligrams, we've had a pretty deep discussion about that type of serving, and both our research labs and our marketing team. And honestly, at the 200 milligram dosage for this particular product, you would be above, what the rest of the market has in terms of an ingredient that, can give the benefits ActiGin gives. We sponsor specifically Olympic level or elite professional type athletes. And when we actually sponsor them and provide them with ActiGin in particular, they're taking the 200 milligram dosage. So these are Olympic rowers. These are professional boxers and football players who notice an extreme difference taking the 200 milligrams of ActiGin throughout their training courses and, their competitions.
Right.
And they live and die by this. We don't pay them for it. It's just something that they truly believe in.
Right.
Taking this 200 milligram doses is not only going to give you an amazing amount of energy and, essential stamina, but with the new longevity studies and publications that we've done and that we're going to continue to put out over the next 3 years, you may be getting a lot more bang for your buck than even we realize at this point. We don't know, how big the effect is going to be on the anti-aging or longevity benefit.
Right. Awesome.
And studies so far, and the results were first of its kind, and they're only going to get better with more research that we put behind them. So you're really far ahead of the marketing and the market itself. So it's very exciting to kind of see, where this goes from here.
If you're a supplement guy like me and you're very into the science, you really enjoyed what Luis had to say about that and all the clinical data that he had to share. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I got something special coming for you in the next episode. That's 50 pounds right there, straight from the farms right in India, all right? So this is organic. I ain't gonna give away the name yet, but this is one of the cleanest organic herbs, and I mentioned the focus factor. Well, this is the main driver behind that. You're not gonna see this in any of the other supplements that you see on the market. You're not gonna walk into GNC or Vitamin Shop and see this in any pre-workout on the shelf. So I want you guys to really stay tuned so you can check out the next episode where I dive in deeper to what ingredients are actually in the pre-workout that are gonna make Hope Dealer one of the best choices on the market, all right? So, till next time, guys, please like, comment, subscribe. As always, I appreciate your support, I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you just joining in, all right? So till then, guys, I'll see you then. God bless you and God keep you. Talk to you later.